It has happened once more, a gruesome execution caught on tape. ISIL is again spilling more British blood in the sand. The terrorist organization released the video on Friday. CCTV's Sean Callebs has more on the beheading of another hostage.
Shock and revulsion, condemnation, and promises of justice. Those are some of the reactions to the latest video from the terrorist organization ISIL. British aid worker Alan Henning forced to kneel in the now familiar orange jumpsuit, with a menacing ISIL militant hovering, waving a knife. Just this week, Henning's wife Barbara made an impassioned plea to spare his life.
Some say wrong time, wrong place. Alan was volunteering with his Muslim friends to help the people of Syria. He was in the right place, doing the right thing.
ISIL has been operating with impunity in much of northern Syria. Henning was captured December 26th while riding in a convoy from Turkey to Syria. He was the only one in the group who was not Muslim. His kidnapping struck a nerve in Great Britain. A group of Muslim leaders in the country penned an open letter to ISIL, asking it to spare his life. Henning was a taxi driver and father of two from northern England when he began his humanitarian work.
We are at a loss why those leading Islamic State cannot open their hearts and minds to the truth about Alan's humanitarian motives for going to Syria, and why they continue to ignore the verdict of their own justice system.
Henning is the fourth Westerner to be killed by ISIL. Other victims include American journalist James Foley and Stephen Sotloff, and Scottish aid worker David Haynes. This latest killing comes shortly after Great Britain launched airstrikes against ISIL targets in Iraq. British Prime Minister David Cameron tweeted a response. The brutal murder of Alan Henning by ISIL shows just how barbaric these terrorists are. My thoughts are with his wife and children. Cameron said, "We will do all we can to hunt down these murderers and bring them to justice." Just last week, U.S. officials said they believe they know the identity of the masked figure wielding the knife. The video also showed the man that ISIL said would be the next victim, 26-year-old Peter Kasich, a former U.S. Army Ranger who was deployed to Iraq in 2007. He was so touched by people and events in the region that once he left the service, he formed his own aid organization and went back to help people. Sean Callebs, CCTV in Washington.